tonight we're getting new perspective from victims about exactly what went wrong on Interstate 93 this afternoon. Some 40 vehicles were involved in a chain reaction pileup on the highway at around 12:30 p.m. At least 9 people were injured. The crash caused major backups for hours and shut down the entire southbound side of I-93 just north of exit 18 in Canterbury. And as Mike Garrity tells us live tonight, state police say a sudden blast of snow was a big factor in this crash. Mike.
Well, that's right, Kriya. That blast of snow that came on suddenly, police say that it not only created visibility problems, but also very slippery road conditions. In fact, when troopers pulled up on the crash scene not far away from here, they say they found I-93 South, at least the road surface, covered with an icy coating.
Just before this happened, it was all of a sudden there was a huge whiteout. You couldn't see anything. And people were still flying by, going way too fast. This is the result.
Around 12:30 p.m. Saturday, state police say a sudden snow squall surprised drivers on I-93 South, just north of exit 18 in Canterbury.
It just went completely white. There's a lot of cars with no lights on, so you couldn't see where the cars were.
Troopers say speed, visibility, slick, icy road conditions, and a lack of following distance between vehicles were all factors in the pileup.
I saw about 40 to 50 cars all piled up. There were people running up and down the highway trying to warn oncoming traffic that there were a problem up front.
Came around the bend up here, and all of a sudden it was just the road was completely blocked by cars that had hit each other, and there's no place to go. So we bounced off one car and ended up over here in the ditch.
Concord Hospital did receive 9 crash victims, all with non-life-threatening injuries.
I think we were just fortunate that no one was hurt more seriously.
Well, I think the whiteout came so fast that nobody could really slow down. And if you did slow down, you'd probably get rear-ended.
Officially, police say some 40 vehicles were involved. Among them, this small private Tilton school bus loaded with student athletes. It crashed into a large coach bus.
The bus hit me from the back when I was stopped. And I mean, he was trying to stop. There's nothing he could do either.
Troopers say no one on either bus had to be transported to the hospital. In all, the crash only officially closed 93 South for an hour and 20 minutes. But with drivers backed up more than 3 miles, traffic was severely affected for more than 3 hours.
And back live tonight, we can tell you it took at least a dozen tow trucks to clear that pileup. Meantime, that coach bus that we mentioned, well, it was carrying Lyndon State's men's basketball team in their Saturday game against Brown University. Well, it had to be pushed back until Sunday. Live in Canterbury tonight, Mike Garrity, WMUR News 9.
Well, as Mike just mentioned, police say snow was falling and the road was icy at the time of the crash. And as we all know, just a little snow can make the roads very slippery. Chief Meteorologist Mike Hadda joins us now to explain the conditions that were happening right over Canterbury at that time.
Yeah, there were snow showers. We're not talking about a heavy snowstorm that was moving in by any stretch, but just enough lift to really create a narrow band of some heavy snow for just a few minutes. And again, as we just talked about, all it takes is a ½ inch to an inch of snow, if not even a little bit less, to result in slick conditions. Big rotation in the atmosphere, clearly defined on satellite imagery. The snow showers, of course, have lifted well to the north, and right now it is much, much quieter. So even though those bands of snow did create some headaches, we shouldn't see much additional snow overnight tonight. A few flurries right now in the Monadnock region and a few across the Great North Woods. Steadier snow back across southern New England, where it was last night. But this time around, instead of moving north, it moves out to sea, and a lot of dry air takes over for Sunday, except for a few flakes across the mountains. Now, what about the rest of the weekend and the potential storm for the middle of next week? We'll look at those possibilities in a few minutes.
Okay, Mike.